everyone, welcome back. Today I am doing quick speed reviews of everything I bought in April. I did quite a few first impressions this month because I bought quite a few new things and wanted to get some reviews up of them right away. But now after continuing to use them for the rest of the month, I have some updated thoughts. Before I jump in, I just want to say a special welcome to anyone who's new here. Hi, I'm Morgan. I focus a lot of the content on my YouTube channel on conscious consumerism, and this year I'm doing an alternating no buy and low buy. April was a low buy month for me, so that means I got to buy all of this new makeup that I'm about to show you, and I hope that you'll see it's a really manageable amount of makeup. I'm not buying a ton of new products in every single category. I'm really just trying to build a makeup collection that I love. If that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go today. And now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. I do just want to give kind of the caveat here that this is everything I bought up to this point in April. I am pre-filming just by a week or so because my wedding is coming up and I don't want to be filming and editing YouTube videos the week of or the week after my wedding. So I'm filming ahead a bit, so there's always a chance that before the end of April next week, I will have bought some additional things. If that's the case, I will update you on those sometime in the future. I think it'll be easiest just to go in chronological order. So on April 1st, I bought one thing. It wasn't that I was super pumped to buy things in April. It's just that this KKW Beauty lip liner happened to be on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale on April 1st. So I bought this and it's in the shade Nude Zero just because I wanted truly a light pinky nude that would essentially wash out my lips. And I've been on the hunt for this, so I'll just swatch it quickly so you can see. It's just a tiny bit darker than my skin tone, and I love this lip liner. It's very smooth, very creamy, but it doesn't stray outside my lip lines, and it gives me the exact effect I wanted of kind of just a washed out lip look. The second order I placed in April was from theBalm. I did a full first impressions on all of these products, so if you want to see those full first impressions, I will link them up in the corner and in the description box down below. But I'll do a quick recap here to give you some updated thoughts. Balm Desert was a bronzer blush hybrid, and I was very pleasantly surprised by this product in that first impressions video. It is truly the most gorgeous rosy toned bronzer ever. It's completely unique in my collection, and it's truly a flawless all over cheek color for me. If I wear this, I don't need a separate bronzer or a separate blush. This does it all, and for that reason, I am extremely impressed with it, and I can tell it's gonna have a very, very fond place in my heart for a long time. The other cheek product I got from theBalm was the Balm Fire in the shade Beachgoer, and it actually ends up being two shades. There's one called High Tide, and then there's another blush under that called Low Tide. So I do love this kind of mechanism. I really enjoy the idea of having a pink and a lavender blush in one little compact. I think for travel, this is super, super awesome. I really purchased this mostly because I wanted this Low Tide shade. I've been on the hunt for a nice lavender, cool toned blush for a long time, and this is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. I have it layered over another blush today, so you can't really see it, but it's giving me a lot of that glow that you're seeing. So I'm very, very happy with that shade, but I will say, and I noted this in my first impression, but I kind of brushed it off a little bit. This High Tide shade has pretty big glittery chunks in it. It's a pink toned blush with gold shimmer, and for some reason it just feels like a really different formula than the lavender Low Tide shade. That shade also has a silvery sheen, but it just looks really smooth on my cheeks. This one has actual chunks of glitter in it, and they aren't that noticeable, and if I really buff and blend this into my cheeks, they actually kind of flake away. So I don't mind it a ton, but if I'm not careful, I do end up with gold glitter on my cheeks, which is just not my favorite look. And the last thing I got from theBalm was the Big Fan Paparazzi lashes. I mentioned in that first impressions video that they were really, really hard for me to get on because they have a really thick band and it just wasn't broken in yet. So it was really hard to get it to form to the shape of my pretty small and round eyes. I have worn them once since then and I actually had the same problem. So I am hoping that with more time and more wear, these will break in because I love how they look on my eyes, but they're just such a pain to put on that I would never reach for them if they were this difficult every time. If you have small eyes like me, I will say these lashes do touch like this inner corner here, and I know that drives some people nuts. It doesn't bother me that much, so I'm fine with them touching there, but just a note, this is probably not the style for you if you don't like them to touch your brow bone. I probably should have mentioned that I bought all 3 of these products from theBalm when theBalm was having a 50% off site-wide sale. So part of my love, my deep, deep burning love for some of these products is probably influenced by the fact that I got them for half off. They are products that I've kind of had on my wish list for a while, and when I saw they were having a sale, I just couldn't resist, and I am overall very happy with the order. There are just a couple nitpicky things that I wish were different, but I'm willing to accept because I got them on a pretty good deal. And then by far the largest order I placed in April was from Ofra. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I overall really, really love the products that I already own from Ofra. In fact, one of the things that I love is the Sweet Dream Signature palette, and I actually bought a second one so that I could give this away in a giveaway in the future on my channel. I just adore this palette so much that I want someone else to have like the same happiness that I do when I have this palette on my eyes. So that was one small portion of the larger Ofra order. And the biggest part of that order really comes down to the Samantha March and Ofra collab. So I bought the PR box so that I got everything that came in the collaboration. That PR package consisted of a set of 3 glosses, and I'm wearing this one today. This one is the shade Millie, and it's basically a clear, very, very, very sparkly gloss. And then these 2 are supposed to be the exact same formula, but they are colored. So you have Peony and Queen. I'm choosing not to use Peony and Queen yet. I'm just leaving them sealed because I may include those in a future giveaway as well, or give them to family and friends if I feel that I don't need 2 more shades of this same formula. I really wanted to try this formula from Ofra because I've never tried their lip gloss. I have the rest of their lip product types, so I wanted to kind of just round out my knowledge base, and supporting Samantha March seemed like a good way to do that. I will say this formula is weird, but it's growing on me. The glitter in here is like chunky, chunky, chunky glitter. When I rub my lips together after I put it on, I can literally feel the chunks of glitter on my lips. It is a very like tenacious lip gloss formula. It really, really stays put. So it's not like I have glitter floating all over my face or something, but it is weird. And if you've never experienced that sensation before, it might throw you off a little bit. It definitely threw me off. I will link in the corner where I try out this collection and you can see my reaction when I put this lip gloss on. It's pretty funny. I love it on camera. Like I love how my lips look in like my lights here, but I can just tell you, like if I look in a mirror right now, I can like see chunks of glitter all over my lips, and that's just not my favorite look, I guess. So maybe this is a filming lip gloss for me, in which case I probably would not open those other 2 shades. I would give them to someone else. The jury of my makeup court is definitely still out on this gloss, so we'll see what happens in the next couple months with that. Also in that PR package is the mini mix palette that includes the bronzer, highlighter, and blush, as well as 8 eyeshadows. So my eyes are from this palette today, and my bronzer and this blush are both on my face as well. So this blush is layered underneath of the Balm blush, that lavender one. Overall, I really, really like this palette. I definitely need to keep trying things out. This is only my second eye look that I've done with it. I'll insert a picture here of the first eye look I did. It's on that first impressions video that I already linked. And I loved that one. It was so like soft and romantic. And this one is also kind of soft and romantic, even though I went with some of the more pigmented shades in here. So I am interested to see if I can get something kind of more out of this palette, because the 2 looks I've done so far have both been really beautiful, but I want to see if I can get just something different feeling out of it. I am very pleasantly surprised with all of these face shades. I think they perform extremely well. I've worn those face shades a ton of times since I received this package, so I know I adore the face shades. I just need a little more time with the eyeshadow palette, but overall I do really love it. I think for what it is, a mauve and purpley toned eyeshadow palette, the execution is wonderful. And then I just have a couple other kind of like oddball things that I picked up with that Ofra order. This is something they no longer sell. They call it their eye palette, and it has this like slidey top here, and then it's a magnetic base. I basically bought this because I have my eye on some single eyeshadows and I'm out of room in my other magnetic palettes. So I needed something to store them in, and this was like $2 because they're not selling them anymore. I kind of think it's a good thing they're not selling them anymore. The bottom of this is like barely magnetic, so it'll work to store stuff flat. Like I'll be able to put things in here and then maybe like lay them somewhere, but I wouldn't take this traveling or anything like that. I don't trust it to like keep everything secure in here if it's rattling around. And then the last thing that I got in that Ofra order, which actually I kind of wish I would have put this on my lips today now that I'm thinking about it, is the long-lasting liquid lipstick in the shade Palm Beach. So I adore this formula from Ofra. I have it in Atlantic City, which is a shade that's like a beautiful blue toned red. It's like my perfect red, and the formula is flawless. I knew that with this Ofra order, I wanted to get one more of this formula, and I kept being drawn towards like the nudes and kind of like the mauvey pinks. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought that the reason I love my Atlantic City shade of this so much is because it's a perfectly paired color and formula. So I don't feel super comfortable wearing a really bright, bold red lip if it's not in a formula that I'm 100% comfortable with. So the beauty of Atlantic City in the long-lasting liquid lipstick formula from Ofra is that it's the perfect blue toned red for me, and it's a formula that I trust wholeheartedly not to like bleed outside my lip lines or fade in an unflattering way. So that combo is really what makes me love that lipstick so much. And I just don't need that same formula in all of my like nude lipsticks, right? Like I have other nude lipsticks that I already love in formulas that are well matched to nude and pink shades. So instead, I picked a shade that's 1000% outside my comfort zone, even way more than a red lipstick is, and that is this like hot pink. I mean, it's very cool toned hot pink. I can't even express to you. I'll just swatch it on the back of my hand here because I should have just put it on for the sake of this video, but I put it on my lips and I felt crazy just because this is not a color that I normally gravitate towards, and also I was wearing it with a pretty bold eye look, so probably that combo made me kind of feel silly almost wearing this. But I do think there's a time and a place for a lipstick like this. So I want to try to find the time and the place, and I want to find a way to feel confident in this color. And I know that a huge part of me feeling confident in this is going to be the fact that I trust this formula to death. So I know it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to spread across my face. It's not going to fade in a gross way. I just have to now get myself on board with wearing a hot pink lipstick. And that is everything I've bought so far in April. Again, if I do happen to buy anything else before April ends, I will update you all on everything else sometime at a later date. But I wanted to give you all some solidified thoughts on these products that I did first impressions of this month. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up down below and subscribing to my channel before you go today if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.